Do you rise to speak in favor of the substitute motion? Please proceed, sir. Before I read what I've written, I want to address two things real quick while it's fresh in my mind. If a agnostic policeman signs a police report, we've heard that that report can be entered as evidence. If by some chance that report gets lost, can't put him on the stand. The other thing that was just mentioned by the previous speaker was there might be some in our world that want to hurt the church and they're willing to lie on the stand. That person is probably going to say he believes in God. If he really wants to lie, he's going to lie right away. So I'm not sure about that. Anyway, I'd like to speak in favor of the minority report and simply offer a judge's perspective. The minority report, as I understand it, does not eliminate the requirement that every witness affirm they will answer truthfully. Let's say the minority report's adopted, approved by the presbyteries, enacted next year, and sometime thereafter I'm moderating a trial, and the defense asks the court to allow John Doe to testify. But John can't credibly affirm a belief in God or in some future state of rewards and punishments. I'd still ask John, regardless of your theological views, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If he declined to say yes, I wouldn't put him on a trial, on the stand. This past November, along with 4 other SJC members, I sat as a judge in a week-long trial in Indiana. 42 people took the stand, plus the defendant, resulted in a transcript almost 2,000 pages. Each of those 42 witnesses were asked, and they affirmed the oath of BCO 35. But I would be a naive judge and an unwise judge if I assumed that affirmation resulted in the oath takers always telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. When a judge evaluates the credibility of witness testimony, he needs to exercise the same discernment and judgment God has given him, regardless of whether it's a witness who believes in God and affirmed the oath of BCO 35, or a witness who simply promises to tell the truth. I'm not afraid of the witness. I'm not afraid of his theology or her theology. BCO 35.3, for example, stipulates testimony of one witness is insufficient to establish a charge. So even if that witness is known to be honest, has demonstrated unimpeachable character for many years, his testimony alone cannot carry the day. Has to have another witness or corroborative evidence. Doesn't matter if that lone witness is Fred Greco, Lick Duncan, David Cassidy, or David Coffin. It's not enough. BCO 31.8 says, great caution ought to be exercised in receiving accusations from any person who's known to indulge a malignant spirit toward the accused, or is not of good character, or is himself under process, or is deeply interested in any respect in the conviction of the accused, or is known to be litigious, rash, or highly imprudent. BCO 31.8 says the court has a duty to apply great caution to such people, even if they believe in God and are members of the PCA. So why have an oath at all? The oath is not designed primarily to give judges confidence in a witness testimony. The oath warns the witness, even an agnostic that said, I promise to tell the truth, warns the witness that God will still judge him regardless if he answers dishonestly on the stand. The BCO will continue to provide sufficient safeguards if the minority report is adopted. Either party has the right to challenge a witness who he believes to be incompetent, and the court shall examine and decide upon his competency. It belongs to the court to judge the degree of credibility to be attached to all evidence. And finally, if the minority report is adopted and your presbytery has a trial commission and one party objects to John Doe testifying, John Doe agnostic, your court can sustain that objection and decline to allow John to testify. You have that freedom. As I read it, that ruling of yours thereafter might be raised on appeal, but then it would be a review of a lower court's exercise of judgment and discretion and not a review on a matter of law. Thanks.